Okay, we're ready to go live. It's 5 p.m. Hello, Ritna, Saloni, hello there. Vicky, hi Harry, I'm just gonna wait for a few people to join in before I start. Nice to see all of you going online. Hi Saloni, hello. I'm ready with all my glasses. Hi Karan. And my bottles out there. Already it's 5 p.m. But well, I think hi Addis. Well, it is 5 p.m. and I think the drinking hours are kind of, because of the lockdown, are going earlier and earlier. So well, there's never a good time to have a glass of wine. Hi Krish. Hello. Good evening, Sunny. Divas. Okay, we'll just wait for just maybe 2-3 more minutes, because I did start before 5. It's exactly 5 o'clock. So as you can see, I'm well prepared. I have a nice chilled glass of white wine. I'm going to tell you exactly which one I'm drinking right now. So am I clear? Can you guys hear me clearly? Is the voice clear? I think the picture is clear, but I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Hi Divas, there's Sunny Tapor, good evening. Crazy Chef Surbi, what's cooking? So we're just gonna wait. How are all of you doing with this lockdown and everything? I hope everybody is at home and safe, and a lot of digital activity happening, especially in the food and beverage world. So that's very exciting. So every day we have something interesting going live, so that's fun. So nice to see you, all of you, to be here today. So I'm just waiting maybe for another just about 2 minutes, and we will start. It is a hot Saturday. Summer is here on fully. So I'm glad all of us are kind of indoors in our homes, and especially that's why I chose this lovely glass of chilled white wine which I am drinking. Any of you out there right now who are drinking wine, or anybody at all? I know it's only 5 p.m. but since I am sort of talking about wine, I have to have wine in my glass, otherwise it just doesn't make sense. Okay, here we go. Hello everyone. My name is Madhulika. I am lovingly known as Madame Le Cave. I drink wine for a profession. Well, it is a dirty job. Don't kill me, someone's got to do it. But yes, I run something called Le Cave India. So Le Cave is a bunch of, it is a chain of beautiful luxury wine stores. The first Le Cave opened in 2015 in Select City Walk in Delhi. Le Cave we also do amazing wine events and wine tastings. So all of you are welcome to come and join, especially when, of course, things get back to normal. We do a lot of wine dinners. We've done wonderful wine dinners with Easy Diner. So it's exciting to be here on their page doing an Insta takeover, talking about something which I love and a lot of us love, which is wine. Now, wine may be seen as a very daunting subject, especially, if you are going into a very sort of a formal room with elegantly dressed people, and the person next to you picks up the wine glass and swirls it, and they can smell some exotic berries, and all you can taste and smell is grapes. That's what it is, right? But I don't think you have to worry. You see, tasting wine and learning about wine is not something that you are sort of gifted or you're born with. It's not that the wine fairy has come and given you the tasting nose for wine and sort of said, okay, now you are an expert. So it doesn't work like that. So in the world of wine, the more you taste, the more you learn. So winemakers from all over the world, actually, what do you need to taste wine? You need a simple thing like a corkscrew. Of course, if you're wondering what this very cool looking contraption is, I'll get back to that. That's that's later if you really want to get into sort of, that's a Coravin, by the way, I will talk about it later. But all you need is a corkscrew, and you just need to taste and try more wine. And two things that you've got to remember when you are enjoying wine or tasting wines. Number one, do you like how it tastes? And number two, does it enhance the experience of your food? So if you just keep it simple like that, it does not have to be a daunting subject. So the only way to learn more and develop that taste profile or the nose is by tasting more wine. So and it comes through experiences, through tasting more and more and more wine. Now, somebody like me, I don't have a formal education in wine. There are fantastic professionals in India now who are very qualified in the wine industry. I bring forth years of travel into the best vineyards all over the world, tasting I don't know how many thousands of bottles of wine all over the world, and it's my sheer love for wine that I am in this business, and that I bring that passion out to you. Because honestly, each wine is a story in a bottle. Each wine is a different personality. Each wine is... anyone else here? Crazy Chef Stubi? Okay. So I'm going to just put this up because I can't make out who else has joined. Krish is saying hey. So... okay, there is Rajiv, there is Anshul, there are quite a few people. I don't know why the screen is kind of not going up. Hi, there are loads of people there. Hello there, everyone. Anyway, I hope my audio is clear. So yeah, so what I have with me is a wonderful glass of the purest expression of the Chardonnay grape, which is a Chablis. I don't know if a lot of you heard about the Chablis grape, which is the Chablis region or the Chardonnay grape, but we'll come to that later. Now, of course, what I have in my hand is 100% fat-free, cholesterol-free, and of course, a mouthwash has more alcohol than a glass of wine. And I had just put on my Insta story that it takes 20 glasses of apple juice and 8 glasses of orange juice to get the antioxidant benefits of a glass of wine. So, well, I think I've sold wine more than enough. Now, tasting a glass of wine. I have with me a wonderful, of course, it's nearly 40 degrees outside, so I chose to have a beautiful bottle of Chablis. Now, Chablis wine is a famous wine. It comes from the northernmost part of Burgundy in France. Burgundy is, of course, the most famous wine region in the world. They produce one of the most exclusive wines, only from two grape varieties, by the way, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But over 2,500 pockets of different vineyards, which is producing different wines with just two grape varietals. So I have from Chablis. This is, of course, 100% Chardonnay. It's a beautiful Chablis, and it's a white wine. Now, what do you do with a white wine? Now, white wine has to be beautifully chilled. I mean, it has to be sort of stuck in there. And if you need to, by the way, a little tip, of course, when you're sticking it to ice, in case you need to chill it quickly, add some salt. Add some salt in the ice. It's going to make it more chilled. It's going to chill it quicker. So now I have a beautiful glass of Chablis in my hand. First thing, holding the glass. Let me just put these lovely bottles on the side. Holding a glass. Hold the glass always from the stem, right? And not from here. This is the mistake that we cannot make. I want to see who else is there. Can you? Yeah. Yeah, hi. I'm just seeing, I'm just putting the screen up to see. Okay, great. I just wanted to know whether it's audible or not, and we have quite a few people who are joined in. So what I was saying is that the first thing you need to do is hold the glass from the stem. Of course, it looks extremely elegant and stylish, and it's nice. And another reason is because wine is temperature sensitive. Remember that. Now, in a hot country like India, which is not Europe, our room temperature, even with the, I put on the air conditioner today, and the room temperature will still be 30 degrees right now, right? Or it'll just going to be like maximum 25 degrees. White wines are served between 4 to 6 degrees, right? So you have to refrigerate it. Red wines, of course, they say room temperature. A lot of you ask me, but they say red wines are room temperature. Hey, we are not room temperature like Europe, okay? Our room temperature like 30 to 40 degrees. So please use, if you don't have a wine cooler, just stick it in that fridge. But wine is temperature sensitive. It is so important. So a lot of people come to me and say that, you know, we tasted this wine and it was just tasting so off. So many times the wine has gone bad, you know, that vinegary taste that you get, like that extremely when it starts tasting like vinegar and it tastes off. So that is why we are not holding the wine from here, because, you know, of course, the heat and my body temperature is going to totally warm up this beautiful glass of chilled Chablis. So yes, elegantly hold it from there. And the first thing you do is swirl the glass. Now you see when you go and you see people drinking and enjoying wine, why are they swirling the wine like this? Is there? I just want to see now if anyone's asking any questions. And there's Atul there. There's Easy Dino Chennai. Okay, by the way, I am keeping this so simple. This is like literally wine for dummies, because I am not getting into anything complicated. I'm just doing completely something so simple and basic. Okay, there are quite a few people who've joined in right now. Hi. Okay. So my daughter's helping me do that because I'm kind of sitting here. So she's being very sweet and helping me out. Somebody's saying, hi Monisha, nice to see you. Okay, so you pick up the glass, of course, from the stem. Of course, it looks very cool and elegant, and I'm drinking it in a special glass, which is a Riedel glass. But if you do not, I mean, of course, a regular nice wine glass would do. Hi Akansha, nice to see you. So you swirl the wine. Now, why do you swirl the wine? You see people sort of tasting wine and they're swirling. I hope I'm nice and loud and edible. Now, when you swirl the wine, you are releasing the aromas of the wine. Now, remember, wine has been bottled up. Now, I always feel that every wine has hi Ramit, thank you. Every wine has a personality. Like all of us have personalities. We all are Genevieve is saying how to feel the aroma. I will get to red wine, right, while we're drinking. I have a very nice bottle of red, which I'm going to be sort of opening later. So wine has aromas, and wine has a personality which has been bottled up. Okay, so it has all of these qualities, and it is bottled up. It has a cork, so there's a reason why it's tightly bottled up. It's aged, and it comes to you in this nice bottle. Now, so when we swirl the wine in our glass, we are helping the aromas open up. We are helping it come in contact with more air and more oxygen, right? So it's like we like to also express ourselves. So swirling the wine helps the wine express itself. It's like human beings. We like to express ourselves, right? We need that breathing space too. We need to come into our own. We need to also get some air sometimes, get that space, and we are able to express ourselves better. So I always feel wine has its personality, and it's like it's a living thing. It's like a living being in a bottle. It has its own personality. So when you swirl the wine, you are helping it release the aromas, right? So, hi Kapil, cheers. So I'm swirling the wine right here, and the next thing we do is we nose the wine, right? Of course, I mean, make sure that you're like totally not digging your nose into this, but like, it's nice to be elegant about it. So nosing the wine. Now, why do we do that? Now, it's okay if a person who is more experienced than you next to you can taste, as I said in the beginning, some exotic berries, and all you can sort of smell and taste is grapes. It's fine. As I said earlier, wine tasting in the world of wine, if you're not like blessed by some wine fairy sprinkling pixie dust on you and saying, oh my God, voila, now you have the talent for tasting the wine and exactly knowing what the taste profile is in it. Now, when you nose the wine, there are different aromas which come. You'll be able to immediately smell it. immediately there is a distinct aroma which comes out. Slowly just try to isolate. Now for me, like I am drinking a Chardonnay grape, which is still tasting so fresh. It's been nicely, I think my dog is right there, getting excited that I'm drinking wine. Anyway, so we nose the wine. And then we take a large taste. Hi Gargi. Now look at the way I tasted the wine. Even when I was tasting it, I was aerating it in my mouth, giving it more oxygen. Okay, so of course you don't have to gargle in it and go brrr or anything like that. It's just something which releases the aromas a little bit more like that, right? So now the body of the wine. Now when each wine has a body. Now what do you mean by the body of the wine? Hi Sachin, cheers. Now the body of the wine usually refers to its alcohol content, right? The alcohol in the wine gives the wine its body. So I read somewhere that you can sort of equate it to maybe milk, like light-bodied wines are like with less alcohol are like skim milk, or you have whole milk which have more powerful. So if you kind of do that comparison, so the body of the wine, when you know people talk about, you know, I'm sure you've been to wine tasting events, or you've had people next to you very stylishly swirling the wine and saying, oh, this has great structure, this has great body. So you know, so these are just some of the simple things that you need to remember. So the alcohol content in the wine is what gives it its body. Okay. Now obviously you will feel more structure and more body in a red wine than a white wine, right? Bhavesh Pandey is asking an interesting question. Chablis Chardonnay and other region Chardonnay. Oh wow. Okay. I will come back to that later because that's a great question, because Chablis is Chablis and Chardonnay is Chardonnay. Sorry, I don't have another Chardonnay right now. I have two expressions of the Sauvignon Blanc, but not a Chardonnay. But anyway, coming back to tasting the wine. So we have picked up the wine from the stem. We have swirled it to release aromas. We have given it a nice sniff. And by the way, women have, it's scientifically proven that we have a better taste profile than men. So all you ladies, and I don't know why all the wine clubs there in India are full of men. There are these all boys wine clubs in India, but you know, I think a lot of you ladies should be able to taste wine much better than men. So we've tasted the wine, we've kind of aired it a bit, and now we feel the finish of the wine. Now what do you know? What do you feel? What do you say when you feel finish of the wine or the mouth feel? Now what happens is that what is that lingering taste after you drink that wine? That is called a finish, right? Also, you have heard of terms like acidity. Now what is acidity? So acidity is not like when the wine is going bad and you can taste the vinegar. That's not what it is. Now what is acidity? Now acidity in a white wine is usually something, that component which makes your mouth water. Sometimes the acidity component makes your mouth water. That's what it is. That is the acidity. You'll be instantly able to feel it. So that is the acidity of the wine. Hi Shashank, hi Amy. There are lots of people who are joining us. Anyone drinking wine at all apart from me? I'm sorry. I know it's only like 5 o'clock, but since the lockdown, the sort of drinking hours of mine have gone have progressed before and before. I'm going to ask, I don't know why the screen is not coming up, so I'm just going to, I want to see. A full-bodied wine is a stronger wine? Yes, Mohit, it is, of course. Can I see the question a little bit up? A full-bodied wine is definitely, so you have, so when you say the body of a wine, light-bodied, medium-bodied or full-bodied? Yes, nothing's available, I'm sorry, all liquor shops are closed, stocks are over, I know. But when I was doing this Insta story today, I actually there's a wine term called. Okay, Sheetal is saying no, not right. Okay, Sheetal, what is not right? Could you please write that down? What is not correct? What, the stores being closed or something? The wine shops being closed are not right. What is it? I know it's totally. I know that's true. But I came across this amazing word called enophobia. So in my life, I don't think I've come across an enophobe. So enophobes or enophobia is the fear of wine. Wow. I mean, seriously, that's exactly why we're doing this today. We're just totally simplifying things. So I think we complicate drinking wine a lot. We complicate the whole sort of the premise of drinking wine. We complicate it a lot. Now, right now I can take wine. Sheetal, what is wrong? Right now I can take wine. I wanted to know what is wrong. So you said that is wrong. I thought maybe something I said was technically incorrect. Please point me out if I'm wrong. So Sheetal, I'm waiting to hear from you. Wow, fear of wine. Yes, there is something called enophobia, and there is cannot take wine. You can join me tonight. Oh wow! But we're all under lockdown. We can only join each other virtually, like I am joining all of you virtually right now, drinking the wine. Sorry, can't join you. Sheetal, where are you from? Where are you writing in from? Are you Delhi, Bombay? I'm sitting in New Delhi right now. I'd love to hear more from you guys right there. I'm drinking a beautiful glass of Chablis. By the way, I also read that the oldest preserved wine cellar of the world is underneath the ocean. And guess where? The wreckage of the Titanic. And apparently, the wine's bottles are pretty well preserved. I wonder if those divers went in and took some wine bottles away. So the Titanic wreckage is the oldest well-preserved wine cellar under the ocean right there. Hi Shruts, hi. Okay, Sheetal is from Gurgaon. I'm hoping that, thank you. Thank you, Sheetal. Do join. We do fantastic events with Easy Diner also. We've done wonderful ones in and Easy Diner Bangalore is actually even gave me an award for popularizing wine drinking. Wow, I love that award. I think it's one of the best awards ever. Sheetal, my name is Madhulika. People lovingly call me Madame Lacave. That's on my Instagram page. You can visit our page Lacave India if you want updates on wine events. So hopefully when everything comes back to normal, we're going to have tons of wine tastings and tons of events, and we're all going to get together and not drink wine virtually, but actually say cheers and chin chin and have wine. By the way, this comes from an ancient Roman practice of bumping the wine glass, and they got it from the Greeks. So they used to bump that wine glass into each other, and for which the liquid used to spill into the other person's glass, and they could taste whether maybe they've not been poisoned or not. So yeah. And by the way, women, the Romans never allowed their wives to sort of drink wine. They would get killed if they were tasting wine. Thank God we're not in that era. Yeah, Katalia, if you follow me on Madame Lacave or on Lacave India, thank you. We do amazing wine events, and of course I have been going live with a lot of our wine people from all over the world. So it's been fun. So any questions? So we spoke about holding the glass from the stem and not like this. Storing the wines, of course white wine 4 to 6 degrees. I would say just if you do not have a wine fridge, just stick it into your refrigerator. Keep it simple. I call it KISS. Keep it simple and stupid. Just stick it into your fridge. That's it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a temperature controlled wine cooler. If you do not have, I mean, it's great if you have a lovely wine cooler, but if you just want to sort of put in bottles of wine and store it well, just stick it into your refrigerator. That's the safest thing to do about wine. And yes, enophobia is actually a word, and I have never met an enophobe, and I'm hoping none of you are enophobes, and after this even more. So I know the only phobia I have is Novenophobia, which is apparently the fear of running out of wine, which a lot of us, of course, now will I know wine stores are closed, and we're hoping things will normalize and we get our supplies back in order. Till then, we just make do with what we have. Sheetal is saying, can you recap? No, I just spoke about really the basics, that all you need to start in the journey of wine is you need this lovely corkscrew, simple one, absolutely. You need the bottle of wine at the right temperature. Now, even when it comes to red wine, by the way, which I said earlier too, room temperature is not the norm. We are not in Europe. Kindly chill it a bit, please. It has to be 14 to 16 degrees ideally is what the red wine temperature also is. So please remember that. I am having some lovely cheese, by the way. Okay, what's the temperature? Generally, white wine to be kept is 4 to 6 degrees, Virish. 4 to 6 degrees. And like today, I wanted to chill it more, so I just put it in my deep freeze for a longer period of time. It came out nicely chilled, and white wine has to be beautifully chilled, especially Chablis. It has to be totally chilled. By the way, the color of the wine that you see, you know what gives the color of the wine? It's the color of the wine comes from the skin of the grapes, right? So this is the Chardonnay grape. It's 100% Chardonnay. This is beautiful, pale yellow color coming from the skin of the grape. Now that's a good question. Why do we say cheers? I'm not so sure. Can anybody answer that for me? Why we say cheers? Which one would be the best grape for beginners? Now, Bhanu, that is a very subjective question. I would say an easy drinking wine. Now, somebody had asked me before, what is the difference between a Chardonnay grape, let's say. Why is it one of the most famous grape varietal of the world? Because of the Burgundy region, which only produces two grapes, which is Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But the most expensive wine parcels come from Chardonnay. Now that goes to saying there is many other wonderful Chardonnays which are grown all over the world, by the way, right? So there are many New World Chardonnays which are grown, which are doing fantastically well. Now, New World and Old World, does anybody know the difference? So that your senses enjoy the fun of drinking. Okay, that's Katalia answering. I don't know what she's answering right now. I kind of missed that. New World and Old World wines. I get asked a lot of times that what is a New World wine, what is an Old World wine. Now it's really simple. For those of you who are in the world of wine, who drink a lot of wine, really this may be seeming very simple for you, but this is really for the larger audience. Old World, as the name suggests, are from old wine producing countries which have been producing wines for the last more than 1,000 years. Countries like France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, these are all old world countries. Okay, so these and New World wines are wines which are relatively newer wine growing countries. Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Argentina, making fantastic wine, the USA. Of course, Napa Valley has now become such a famous region of the world. In fact, my red wine is from Sonoma County next to Napa. I am going to caravan a glass and speak about that next. So those are the New World countries. Cheers! My sister says I take care of it. Okay. Taste and smell, can't hear, by clinking the glass and saying cheers. Okay, that's what. I think I'm just going to put the comments down just to see. Yeah, just to see. Pinot Noir, okay. Bhavesh is saying, is Pinot Noir going to be your beginning? Yeah. So Pinot Noir is a red wine grape varietal, and there are many Pinot Noirs grown all over the world. Now, people would say that a Pinot Noir is usually slightly more medium bodied compared to other red wines like the Merlot or the Sauvignon Blanc, like this, which I have right here. So it's a slightly more medium bodied wine. Why do we have cheese with wine? Let a little bit of rosé wine, best white wine, Sheetal. I'm drinking one of the best white wines, which is Chablis. And by the way, another one of the best white wines, which is the other grape, which is the Sauvignon Blanc, is Sancerre. This comes from the Loire Valley. Of course, Sancerre is the region and Sauvignon Blanc is the grape. And there's another one, Sauvignon Blanc this is from Broken Fish Plate from Darrenberg, one of the famous wineries. So this is a New World wine, this is an Old World wine. So Australian, French, Californian. Wow, I wish I could call you guys for a little wine tasting right here, but I'm sorry I have to do it virtually for all of you guys right there. Anything specific else that you guys are wanting me to talk about right now? Why do we have cheese with wine? Oh, because it's a wonderful combination. I think it's a perfect. By the way, I'm having Parmesan cheese. It's right here, and it's a perfect combination. Broken Fish Plate. Isn't it a wonderful? It's a wonderful wine from Darrenberg. All these wines are available on La Cave India, by the way. So as soon as the store opens, everyone has to come and run there and stock up, including me. Yes, it is available. All these wines are available here. There are talk about decanting wine, when and why. That's a great question, Monisha. Now, remember at the beginning we spoke about wine being a personality and being bottled up. Now, there are decanting wines. This is what we primarily do for red wines, when we decant wines. Now, why do we decant wines? There are some red wines which are extremely complex. Okay, so let me show you a bottle of... Whoops, sorry guys, I'm just going to get my bottle. Okay, now this is a special bottle. This is a Smith Haute Lafite. It's a Grand Cru Classé from Bordeaux. Now this is a very special, complex, structured bottle of wine. So Monisha, why we decant wine? And there is always a big debate in the wine world about decanting wines. But I always prefer to decant some of my very complex, full-bodied red wines. It gives it a chance for those tannins. Now, red wine has tannins. Okay, it's the structure which you feel in your mouth. Red wine has a lot of tannins. So what happens is the tannins, they soften up. The aromas soften up because many times if you're having a very strong structured red wine and you immediately have a sip after opening from the bottle, you suddenly get that very strong aroma and the strong taste, and you're like, whoa, what was that? And also, it's closed up, it's bottled up, you see. These strong wines are bottled up. So when you decant them, it gives it a chance to express itself. Like I am drinking from a beautiful Riedel glass. It's like a decanter in itself. Look at the shape of the glass. Look at how much room it has. So it's naturally giving the wine a chance to breathe, chance to express itself slowly. It's kind of unbottling itself. It's kind of expressing itself. The aromas are kind of... So I'm sure, Monisha, you and Amit have a wonderful wine cellar, so with some great wines. So it's always nice to do heavy-bodied, the strong wines, like the Bordeaux wines, the super Italian, super Tuscans, the blends, like even this, what I was drinking, the Francis Ford Coppola yesterday, also of course at Corrigan. I let it be in my glass for some time. Red wine, you will see that even if you don't put it in a decanter, but if you just let it be in the glass for just a little bit while, let that extra, the tannins and the smells just come out, and let it breathe and let it stay. You will see from the first sip to the last sip, it's changed. The taste profile is totally changed. So that's the reason we do decant wines. Of course, there is a lot of debate about winemakers all over the world. Sometimes they say there's no need to decant, but personally, as a personal preference, I love to decant my wines. Okay, so I hope that has answered your question. There was a question just before. There was somebody who was talking about La Cave just before this. This is Poonam from Dubai. Hi. Thank you. I'm so glad. Night Star Day. Are you in Dubai right now? So I'm so happy that you've visited our store in Bangalore, or is it Delhi? We have a beautiful store in Bangalore too. So I'm so happy. Thank you for the compliment. And Maharashtra is still the predominant region for wine in India. Well, yes, and of course you have lovely vineyards down south as well, where Grover Vineyards, and of course one of my favorite Indian wines, Charisma, which comes from from Hampi, the World UNESCO Heritage Site, one of my favorite Indian wines. And of course, Maharashtra is a great wine growing region right there. Port wine different from regular wine. Yes, port wine comes from Porto, Portugal. So yes, hi chef, nice to see you. What's cooking? I've been following all your stories of all the people. So Poonam is in Dubai, so stay safe right there. So I did answer a question about decanting wines right there. Why do we have cheese with wine? Now, another thing in India is that we traditionally do not drink wine with our food, right? I mean, what was the wine to savor the wine post nosing it? The finish, the mouthfeel. Is that what you're talking about, Urvashi? I think you're talking about the finish and the mouthfeel. Now, people talk about, is there any Indian wine which needs a decanter? Oh, I actually had a lovely wine from Fratelli about 2 days ago. It was the Sette. And I actually decanted it because it is like an Italian Super Tuscan. And it's Sangiovese and Cabernet. So both strong, powerful grapes. So definitely, and decanting it really actually helped. So yeah, why not? Hi Ankur, nice to see you. Wheezy Veins is saying, why can't we drink red wine at cool time? Of course, you need to salvage it. Please do not drink it. I mean, I like it slightly cool. Please do not chill the red wine because that will really close up its aroma. So many times I just feel like, you know, when we feel cold, we close up. We kind of just shudder and close up. So that's what sometimes red wines do when you chill it too much. Like, do not chill it or freeze red wine because it just tightens up. All the aromas just get very sort of tight-lipped. But yeah, you need to slightly cool it for it to taste better. And of course, it'll open up in the glass and all of that. Poonam is asking, what do you think of Californian wines? I love Californian wines. I go to California every year. And Californian wines was actually brought on the map. Like nobody knew about Napa Valley before the 1970s. So end 1970s, there was this iconic event which kind of shook the wine world. It was called the Judgment of Paris. Now, of course, the French and the Italian have always been, they are like the best wine producers of the world. So, you know, they would have blind tastings and wear all the top line Burgundy and Bordeaux bottles. And there was a gentleman, a famous gentleman by the name of Stephen Spurrier, and he's still very famous in the wine world. He comes to India. He took two unknown bottles of wine from two unknown wineries in Napa Valley. The white wine was Chateau Montelena and the red wine was Stag's Leap, and he put it into a blind tasting. It's called the Judgment of Paris because it shook the wine world. So what happened was, it's a very interesting story, a little trivia to know about wine is that in this, where all the experts from around the world sat down in this blind tasting. Now, a blind tasting in wine, all these experts sit and the wine is of course not revealed to them. The wine is kind of wrapped up. You're not blind yourself. You're blinded to the label of the wine, and people taste the wine and they judge the quality of the wine without knowing what wine label it is, right? So at the Judgment of Paris, these two wine labels beat all the top Bordeaux, Burgundy, all the top wines from all over the world as the number one. It rocked and shocked the wine world. Chateau Montelena, Stag's Leap. Two wines which put Napa Valley, and why is Napa Valley so famous? So since then, Napa Valley has been on the map, and the most famous kind of course, it's a rock star of a wine region, and everybody knows about Napa. So I love Californian wine. Californian Cabernets are very famous. Californian Cabernets are big and they're juicy and they're kind of jammy. That's exactly what this Francis Ford Coppola, the famous director, also produces great wine called Director's Cut, by the way, and he does like this Chardonnay. And Bill Clinton served this wine for celebration dinner. I didn't know that, by the way. Thank you, Poonam, for telling me that. So anyway, that was Judgment of Paris and a little bit about Californian wine. And of course, there are other wine producing places in America now, like the Washington State, which does some great wine too. which we get, which is so anyway. So that's a bit of trivia, and I love Californian wine. And thanks Poonam for that thing to say, which Bill Clinton served this for his celebration dinner. Nice to know. I'm drinking it during lockdown. Now, for all of you who are wondering what this is, by the way, this cool looking contraption is one of the most revolutionary wine tools. It's called the Coravin, Coravin. It's called Coravin, and it's also called the Cork Conqueror. Now, a lot of you guys come to me and say that, oh, we do not want to open a bottle of wine because we don't want to drink the whole bottle, or when you open the cork, it kind of, storage is a problem, which is true. I mean, I don't, when you do open a bottle of wine, I recommend you do consume it if you have, not yourself, maybe just share it with people around you and finish it on that day or by the next day, because wine oxidizes really fast. Okay, so once that cork is open, and of course wine is in contact with air, it oxidizes very, very fast. You'll see it's totally tasting different the other day. So sometimes it goes off. Now what the Coravin does is that it's got a medical grade needle right there, right, which goes in straight to the cork. The cork remains intact, and you can pour yourself a glass of wine without opening the entire bottle. So it's my new best friend. It's like my favorite wine tool, by the way. So it's called the Coravin. I'll give you a little demonstration of it. So I've been Coravining, so I'm going to Coravin and show you that I'm going to have the red wine next. Which is the best wine to enjoy with pasta, with pesto. I love pesto. By the way, my favorite wine combination, food combination is pizza and wine. So I love a pesto pizza also. So what I'm drinking, a nice Chardonnay. Now, by the way, the Chardonnay is always known as a great food wine because it has a little more buttery structure than, let's say, another white wine like the Sauvignon Blanc, which can be had on its own. So it's a great, but it's of course you can have wine on its own as well, because traditionally in India, none of us, that's a very interesting question, I'm going to answer that. None of us really drink wine with our food traditionally. I mean, you can, I think. With Arsh is asking, calories count, beer versus wine, healthier? Oh my god. Okay, that's a good question. Well, in terms of calories, a glass of red wine would be about between 120 to 150 calories depending on which wine. White wine has lower calories. That day somebody had posted that tequila apparently has the least number of calories, and it's just about 60 calories and it has no fat and whatever. But I'm such a purist. I love my glass of wine. I mean, I don't think tequila can give me that the soul and the feel that wine can. Like the whole the sipping and the aroma. I mean, tequila is kind of it's just not my thing. So tequila has least number of calories, but white wine I think about 90 to 100 calories, and red wine between 120 to 150 calories. Some of the super Tuscan wines, which are like a little more stronger and bolder, have more calories. And beer, anybody knows calories in a beer? But beer kind of, I think, makes you a little fuller, right? I mean, it at least happens to me. I feel more kind of full and bloated with beer. Of course, it's great. It's a hot weather outside, so it really depends on your preference. What is great legs? You're talking about legs of wine. Now, what is a leg of wine? That is something I can show you with my red wine, which is going to give me a chance to demonstrate my Coravin straight to you as well. So I am well prepared with my... Okay, so now this is how a Coravin works, by the way, guys. See, this is what it looks like. Can you see? This is the needle, right? Now I'm opening it, clamping this down. So this is actually a medical grade needle. It's actually like a medical grade needle. It kind of goes, and it pierces straight through the cork right there. And all I do is I take my glass. Now, this has something called the winemaker's gas, which is argon gas. Okay, so argon gas is going to pass through. I just have to flip up the switch. There comes the wine. Voila! And you can pour yourself how much ever wine that you need. And the magic at the end of it. You take out the Coravin, The cork is completely intact. Look. And it just stays like that. The wine does not get spoiled. So before I taste this wine, I'm going to quickly answer Abhishek Jain's question, saying I'm a regular wine guy. I'm a sweet taste person. You're a sweet person. That's nice. Do you have a wine which is a little sweeter? So now, sweeter wines. Now there are wines which are slightly sweet. There are wines called, have you heard of the Riesling wine? It's a famous grape varietal which was originally grown in Alsace or in Germany. It's called the Riesling grape, which has got a slightly sweeter taste profile. It's a white wine. It's a beautiful white wine. There is also called a grape varietal known as the Gewürztraminer. I wish I could say it in Italian. It's called Gewürztraminer. Again, slightly sweeter. It goes really well with actually Asian, Chinese kind of cuisine. Even with Indian food, kind of balances out the spices. Chill it well and drink it. Riesling, Gewürztraminer. Two white wines which are slightly sweet. There are also great Riesling wines which come from other parts of the world. Now the Riesling grape is grown. So if you come and meet me or message me on La Cave India or Madame La Cave, I can help you out by choosing. Somebody asked me a question on Coravin. It is available on Amazon. It's available in India. We import it in India. It's a great thing to do. Zinfandel for a red wine is a nice jammy kind of wine. I wouldn't call it sweet, but it's more like a jammier, fruitier, zingy kind of taste. And Zinfandel is one of California's favorite grapes also. They do a lot of zins right there. Yeah, so that is there as well. So anyway, coming back to this, and Poonam was talking about the legs of a wine. Now when somebody talks about the legs of a wine, it's actually, when you swirl the wine, can you see the kind of teardrops? I don't know whether it's clear on the camera. This shows the complexity of the wine, actually, and the alcohol content. That's what we say are the legs of the wine. This kind of teardrop kind of things going, and I don't know whether it's clear on the camera, but you'll be able to see it. Kunal is asking, when we order a glass of wine in the restaurant, we're definitely getting the older from a bottle a few days ago, more oxidized wine. Kunal, it really depends. I think if you go to a really good restaurant which preserve their wine well, in fact, a lot of restaurants have started using Coravin. I'm really happy. So they can serve you better wines by the glass. But if you go to a good restaurant, always ask them when they open the bottle of wine. That is something I do, because sometimes when you taste the wine, it's you can taste that it's oxidized, it's slightly off. Then you can ask them to open a fresh bottle of wine for you. Difference between regular wine and cooking wine. Okay, I love to cook with wine in terms of I drink the wine while cooking. That's what I do. I don't know. I'm not too for adding wine. So you don't need very expensive wine to use as cooking wine. Any regular wine would do. So that is what my answer is. Mohit, can you recommend an Indian citrus fruity wine, like a white wine? I think our Indian wines, of course, we're a new industry, but we're doing some very, very good wines right there. And 2-3 names which I told you is Fratelli is doing great wine, Sula is doing lovely wine, and so is Charisma Estate. So Grover's. So you could try out some of the wines there. I haven't tried too many white Indian wines. I've tried actually more red Indian wines, but thank you. I will try out definitely, because I was so blown away by Fratelli's quality that definitely I will taste more Indian wines now. And I think our Indian wine producers are doing a great job, and all of it is available in La Cave India. So do go and pick up a bottle whenever the stores open. Only a couple of grape wine, Merlot and Shiraz. Yeah. By the way, do you know how many? It takes about 600 to 800 grapes go into a single bottle of wine. By the way, did you know that? I don't know whether you knew that, Ruben. How long can I keep a wine bottle refrigerator once it opened? Gangadhar Manari, I just answered that it's preferable just a day. It really depends, because I feel it should be consumed, if not on that day, but by the next day do. Just stretch it till the next day, or maybe I mean, some people even do it for 2 days, but then just try it out. Just try it out. But I feel that not more than a day. I mean, that is my personal advice. I have a bottle of South African Black Angus. Is it a good wine? It sounds like a great wine from South Africa. Is doing some great wine. Please, it's lockdown time. People are opening their special bottles of wine. Please drink it. It's Saturday night. And tell us how it is. Difference between Chablis, Chardonnay. Well, Chablis is one of the most special. So wine from Chablis, Chardonnay from Chardonnay, the wine from Chablis in that region can only be called Chablis because it's such a premier and a exclusive wine parcel. Sorry, that was just a bottle which kind of, what happened? Which got, that's fine, that's not okay. Yes, Stellenbosch region has amazing wines. Yeah, so I was telling you about Chablis and Chardonnay. So it is the most exclusive Chardonnay and Chablis Grand Cru, Premier Cru. I was fortunate enough to be there 2 years ago, and it's spectacular. What is special in Chablis is the terroir. The terroir there is unbeatable, and of course one of the best winemakers of the world are in Burgundy. As you know, Burgundy is it is the most famous wine growing region of the world. So definitely Chablis Chardonnay is very precious and it's amazing. And of course, I mean, I'm not saying that there are definitely great Chardonnays from all over the world which are growing. Chardonnays from Australia, Chardonnay from California. So those are the New World Chardonnays. But the most special, I mean, Chablis can only be Chablis. And my best Chablis combination was years ago in Burgundy itself, and we were at a seafood restaurant, and it was with oysters, chilled Chablis and oysters. It was heaven in the mouth. And I don't know, I don't think Mr. Veer Sangvi is watching this, but he will remember. And there are certain things with wine, you go back in memories and a taste. So you know, certain tastes. So this always, Chablis brings me back to that moment of beautiful fresh oysters and a chilled bottle of a Chablis Grand Cru. So when you taste more wine, and you will know when you are tasting. I wish I could do this tasting with you. So we will do this. We will do more interesting events where we would taste a new world Chardonnay versus an old world Chardonnay. A Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand versus the Sancerre from the Loire Valley. What is the difference? Because it's the same grape, but grown in two completely different regions, 2 different countries, 2 different terroirs, 2 different winemakers. And then you will know that the soil, the weather, all these things go into making a great wine. Soil, the weather, the climate, the winemaker, the personality of the winemaker, the mood of the winemaker, all these things. I mean, there is so much which goes into a bottle of wine. That's why I always say, like, treat a bottle of wine with respect. Of course, do not let it intimidate you. And the best way to learn more and more about wine is get your corkscrew or get your Coravin and taste more wine, and taste more wine, and taste more wine. And each time you will see that you will discover something new and something very special about the wine. So it is a beautiful journey which never ends, and I have been fortunate to travel all over the world to the best vineyards, and now we bring this portfolio to you. And let me know, because I think in just about a few minutes, Instagram in 1 hour it kind of goes off. Shashank, thank you. I don't, the barrels and casks are special too. Yes, that's oak aging. Yes. So wines are like the Chardonnay, this wine, like even the Coppola is oak aged and is barrel aged, and so is the Chablis. So yes, the oakiness. Wine tasting session will be a great chance to learn to compare. Yes, of course, a wine tasting session. The more, as I said, the more wines you taste, the more you learn. So do not let the subject intimidate you. It's your personal palate, it's what you enjoy, it's what you like, and always remember it's a very personal taste. So do not get intimidated about what the next person is tasting or feeling. And as I said in the beginning, it can, like the other person's tasting exotic berries and all you can taste is grapes. Well, it's fine. It's fine. So use that palate and drink more wine. and see what you feel. There are wonderful, the world of wine is a beautiful journey. And great wines, great food, great friendships are something which are very special. And by the way, a bottle of wine is always meant to be shared. And one of my favorite wine quotes is, which is a La Cave quote, is you can't buy happiness, but you can buy wine, and that is kind of the same thing. So thank you, Sushil. Great, informative, charming session. Thank you to wine lovers. Well, I don't know about valuable or not valuable. There's so much. There is a lot of technicality when you go into wine, but yes, learning how to hold the wine glass from the stem and not like this, sniffing the wine, swirling the wine, sniffing it, releasing the aromas, tasting it, aerating it, and at the end of the day, enjoy it. Yes, Karan, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy wine, and that's kind of the same thing, isn't it, guys? Cheers, and thank you so much for being here with me today. And I am very lucky. I get to go and finish my Chablis. The evening, it's only Saturday. I get to finish my Chablis, and and I'm going to finish my cab from. Thanks, Monisha. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back. Thanks, Akansha. Cheers. I hope you guys get to drink a fabulous glass of wine. Thank you so much for all of you. Stay safe and stay at home. And when all this is over, we're all going to get together and taste great wines together. I promise you that from La Cave India. We are just gearing to go with amazing wine tasting sessions. So thank you so much. Cheers, guys. You can DM me on Madame La Cave India. And thank you, Easy Diner. Thanks, Bhavesh. Thank you, all of you. Bye-bye. Cheers. Stay safe. And keep washing your hands. Bye.